Is there a double standard over the mental acuity of Donald Trump?
Remember when your mom told you you're judged by the friends you keep? Well, when it comes to Trump's inner circle, that's a full menu of hate, fear, racism, and stupid. The truth is, I'm not sure who is worse, Trump or the little turds that circle his world.
He's been on a plane with him. We've seen him talk about the fact that he says that she's this great woman. He has been hanging around a right-wing activist called Laura Loomer. And I want to show you just some of the things that she has put out on social media. And it goes back very far. But let's start with here's what she said about Sheila Jackson Lee. After Sheila Jackson Lee died, she called her a ghetto bitch. And then she speaks about black women this way. Again, she tweeted, this is another one. If Kamala Harris wins, the White House will smell like curry. So another racist attack. She's also tweeted about Kamala Harris, calling her a stupid, brain-dead, lying bitch. And then listen to this. She's talking about several women of color, several black women, Letitia James and others, including Kamala Harris. Here's what she said about them.
Now, you're going to elect me, and I'm going to lock him up. We're going to get Trump. Like the way they talk and their little DEI Shaniqua voices, and it's just very piercing, very irritating sound. They all have the same voice. I'm talking about Kamala Harris, Letitia James, and Fannie Willis. Like all of the meritless DEI Shaniquas talk the same way. It's very obnoxious.
Why is Donald Trump hanging around with this woman?
Because he's lost the plot. He's completely lost the plot. This is repellent to the very voters he will need. There's no reason for this. She's disgusting. She's also a lunatic and a huge drag. And not the first drag, by the way. I think J.D. Vance is the first drag on his ticket that was a bad decision. This is the next one.
Wow, she's bad. And it gets worse.
I mean, look, I know that Kamala Harris sucked dick to get where she is today, okay? And she had to sleep with Willie Brown in order to get to the top. But some of us women, right, we actually work hard. Some of us women have no desire to have sexual affairs with politicians or men with elite political status to climb the ladder. I know that Kamala Harris can't say the same, but, believe me when I say that that's not me. Or as Kamala Harris likes to say, they ain't like us, right? She ain't like me. I ain't like her.
Now, Kamala Harris is tough, and like a lot of successful women and black women, she's probably had to put up with this shit her whole life. But it's not just her that's being attacked. There's a long list of Trump's little Nazis who cuddle up to this cretinous waffle cock of a human. But Loomer is everyone's interest because Trump is blowing her kisses and groping her, and the speculation is the two of them might be, I can't even think about it, it's so disgusting. Melania is taken off, and Trump, being the dog that he is, and always has been, is sniffing around, and man, is she his type. But I could give a rat's ass if Trump went from his immigrant wife to this white trash trophy. That's not what this is about.
Oh my God, they're misogynists, they're bullying a woman, they're trying to Monica Lewinsky her,
But Loomer is just the latest in Trump's long line of horrible beings sucking up at his huge teats. Let's go back to Melania. She's always been on par with tiny fingers. Remember this jacket? Melania wore this on an official trip to a migrant child detention center. She also said this about Obama's birth certificate.
I needed to put mine anyway, because if you want to become an American citizen, you need to put the birth certificate.
Right.
I have a birth certificate from Slovenia. And do you want to see President Obama birth certificate?
But Trump did to her what he does to anyone who trusts him. He banged a porn star while his wife was breastfeeding Barron. Then there was a smorgasbord of the world's worst people surrounding Diaper Don. This guy, Stephen Miller, is a huge piece of shit. He shaped Trump's racist and draconian immigration policies, which included the zero tolerance policy, also known as the family separation, the Muslim ban, and he ended DACA, the Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals. Vanity Fair wrote a piece where several Trump appointees said Miller enjoyed seeing the children in cages. Dude likes his job.
Send the military into these black neighborhoods, make the streets safe. They'll complain about it. It doesn't matter.
We should send in the troops if necessary to restore order.
Then, of course, there's Manafort and Flynn. Manafort worked with Ukrainian dictator Yanukovych right up until the Ukrainian people ran him out right into Putin's arms. Manafort then went to work for Trump. Michael Flynn was Trump's national security director, at the same time working for Turkey's dictator.
I want to be a dictator.
And Flynn was later convicted of lying to the FBI before Trump pardoned him. And then there's Trump's real love, Tucker Carlson, who has a long list of racist, crazy shit falling out of his ass every day.
It's actually not a real problem in America. White supremacy, that's the problem. This is a hoax.
It's a threat to democracy. Pull him off the air. The footage does not show an insurrection or a riot in progress. Instead, it shows police escorting protesters through the building.
We are very, very close to being able to ignore Trump most nights. I truly can't wait. I hate him passionately.
And the latest Carson bullshit is his embrace of a Nazi historian who says Churchill was worse than the Holocaust. Trump then surrounded himself with these two, Alex Jones, who propagated the Sandy Hook lie that the whole thing was staged.
But it took me about a year with Sandy Hook to come to grips with the fact that the whole thing was fake. I mean, even I couldn't believe it. I knew they jumped on it, used the crisis, hyped it up, but then I did deep research, and my gosh, it just pretty much didn't happen.
And he became buddies not only with Trump, but with Hillbilly Vance.
I got myself into a little hot water last week. I made what seemed to me a plainly obvious observation that Alex Jones, the InfoWars guy, is a better source of information than Rachel Maddow, the MSNBC gal.
And then Trump had dinner with Nick Fuentes, an avowed racist and white supremacist and Tucker Carlson's BFF.
And white people are done being bullied.
Discriminating against and denigrating, just denigrating white people.
Trump has surrounded himself with weak people his whole life. He uses them and then casts them aside. Loomer attacked Republicans like Lindsey Graham, calling him a closeted gay man. No, but saved her venom for Marjorie Taylor Greene, another Trump butt flag, who has embraced QAnon insanity, attacked Fauci, and like Loomer, claims 9/11 was an inside job.
Q is a patriot. We know that for sure. And the so-called plane that crashed into the Pentagon. It's odd, there's never any evidence shown for a plane.
It's really quite remarkable how many incredibly horrible people surround Trump. And I haven't even mentioned his weird daughter/girlfriend.
Although she does have a very nice figure. I've said that if Ivanka weren't my daughter, perhaps I'd be dating her. You know?
Stop it! Oh, it's so weird! And Don and Eric Trump, both of whom finished last in the DNA lottery, are all in on their father's cruel and racist behavior. But the circle of dim-witted sycophants would not be complete without this sackless gaggle of spineless men and women who stood up to Trump, then one by one backed down like sheep. There's Lil Marco, Rand Paul, and my favorite Ted, I wish I had a penis Cruz, who not only didn't defend his wife or father, but threw them aside at the first chance to bend before tiny fingers.
I'm beginning to understand why Ted Cruz has been hated by everyone, every place he's ever been.
But my favorite is Nikki Haley, who, like Cruz, allowed Trump to mock her veteran husband, only later to reveal just how weak she really is.
There is no way that the American people are going to vote for a convicted criminal. They're not.
So I will be voting for Trump.
Laura Loomer is nothing. She will be flushed down the social media john like a nasty little forgotten floater. Her hate and racism aren't even original. And she seems to have that confidence we've seen before in the Trump world, moments before Diaper Don shows them the door. This election isn't about Trump. It's about Americans and a huge swath of Republicans saying we want this over. I mean, just check out the people trying to kill Trump. They ain't Democrats and they ain't illegals. They are part of Trump's crazy world of hate, lies, and violence. You know, in Trump's defense, he's a deeply disturbed, mentally ill, malignant sociopath. But that's no excuse. He knows what he's doing, as do the Stephen Millers, Dairy Queens, Tucker Tuck Back My Junk Carlsons, and the rest of this cancerous squad. But for the rest of America's independents still on the fence, if you can't tell the difference by now, you're already on the wrong side.
Goddamn right.
I'm ready. Let's go.
This isn't their Republican Party anymore.
Trust me.
Shut the fuck up, Darren.
Who's with me?
Oh, yeah, the lie.
Indictable.
Out of sheer morbid curiosity, I'm allowing this freak show to continue.
I don't want to talk about this stuff.
Am I wrong?
Yes.
Tick-tock.
You're in a lot of trouble, Donnie.
I think he's crazy.
I'm Chip Franklin.